Hello, welcome to Arcade Cards, the best place to chill with your friends and get your gaming goodness every Monday, 6 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. I'm Ashley Hobley. Joining me today on the couch is Cherie Henriques.
You know what? It feels like it's been a while. I think I missed last week, and so it's been 2 weeks. And yeah, it feels like a long time. It's nice. To scroll back out on the couch.
Got it all to yourself this week.
I know, right? What the fuck? Like Dylan just doesn't care enough for me to be here, so he's just like, you know what? What did you do to him last week? Did you exhaust him that much that he didn't want to podcast again for another week, or what?
I guess maybe life just gets in the way.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. On today's show, we'll be going over what happened at Opening Night Live. Valve has come clean about the game they've been making, and Black Myth Wukong is a big hit. But first, Kieran, you've been playing Concord, which finally got its actual full release. Of course, we previously talked about it during the beta period, and you were very, very high on it. What are your feelings now that the game is fully launched, and what is new to the game that we weren't having access to during the beta?
Okay, so I think Concord is in a very weird spot, and I was actually really looking forward to being able to play Concord again this week. And then I sat down for the first couple nights, and it just wasn't hitting the same way it had during the beta. It just wasn't. There wasn't, for whatever reason, the itch was not being scratched. And I look at it, and I look back, and I look at, okay, what is different since then? I think one of the major things for me is that I've played Marvel Rivals since then, and I think Marvel Rivals is such a complete game in the hero shooter, I guess, or the kind of champion shooter arena game, that maybe that has retroactively changed my opinion on Concord a little bit. I think playing it, playing a lot solo at the moment, which might also be another problem with it. It doesn't help that there's no Australian servers, so it is lots of time just playing on low to bad ping. And then on top of that, we've got the whole situation surrounding Concord itself at the moment, and its player base issues that were always forecasted. The player base itself not being there for the game, especially coming out as a full price purchase. It's not free to play; you have to buy into it. So it does feel it is a big uptake for people, and I think Concord falls short a little bit, and it's actually taking me till tonight. I was playing today because I was very much on the fence of, okay, where are my feelings towards Concord? Am I giving it a hard time? Am I reviewing it harshly or looking at it harshly because of the bad ping, the experience I had during the beta, Marvel Rivals? What is it? And then today it clicked for me that by playing the game in a way that the devs don't intend you to play, or that isn't the way the game is designed, it makes the game more fun. And what I mean is, talking about this is, I ranted and raved last episode, or the last time we spoke about this game, about the differences of Concord, that swapping heroes give you all of these different buffs and different management. And so the idea of you're supposed to swap characters and play different things and build a team up and switch through them throughout the game, and the ranked mode, where the ranked mode locks you out if you win. So you're forced to play different things. The problem is, and I kind of foresighted this during that beta period, the ranked or the competitive gameplay. So I've played for several different nights now. I haven't been able to queue into a single competitive game yet. Every time I've queued for 9 minutes, and the queue times out at 9 minutes. So it just stops the queue at 9 minutes.
Okay.
So I've tried multiple times now to queue the competitive mode that encourages the play style of what the developers of this game have seemingly designed into this game. It's the way it's been made around, is this idea of swapping characters and getting these different buffs and having a range of variety in there. And I can't even play that mode. I can't find people to play that mode with. And so now, today, what I ended up doing, instead of swapping, I've just chosen a character I just want to learn, and I just want to main, and I just want a one trick, and I'm only playing that character. Sure, if somebody else picks that character, I've got a backup, but I'm only playing one character, and I'm having more fucking fun than I have the rest of the time I've played Concord this week. I've had more fun feeling progression on that one character, feeling like I'm leveling up the character, so I'm actually getting like unlockables and everything with the character because each character has its own leveling up system that unlocks bits and pieces for the character cosmetically. I'm enjoying doing that with Lennox. I'm enjoying the play style because, especially in the I guess I'd call it quick play based on the Overwatch and other games,
Actual play.
Yeah, the actual play, yeah, where it's like you're jumping in and because you're kind of the gameplay is so quick and you're not forced to swap. Swapping is a detriment because you're having to change your play style so quickly and so roughly, and if everybody else isn't doing that in the game, then it doesn't actually matter if you're getting the buffs and the benefits of it. So yeah, today playing one character, maybe a second if that character gets picked, I had a much better experience. I had a much better time. But at the core of that, that's a problem. Like at the core of that is an issue.
I want to make it clear. You're saying it's better to be playing this quick mode with just focus on one character rather than queuing to play the other mode.
No. Even if so say when you do get to play the game, ignoring the systems while you're in the game, ignoring the systems that give you the buffs and give you the extra for switching characters that incentivize doing that, I've had more fun not doing that system.
But none of those are in the deathmatch mode, right?
Yes, they are.
They are? Okay.
They are. They all are. Yeah, it's in everything to do with how the characters work. So it's everything. There's this system, and this is the thing, right? There is this whole system they've worked on that I thought was really fucking cool about swapping characters and picking something else and playing something and building your buffs and stuff that doesn't matter in the main core gameplay way that the community is currently playing. Because for whatever reason, there is no funnel into playing the competitive mode. There is no, and this is the thing, and I also felt very lost playing Concord because I felt no sense of progression other than I am completing objectives and I'm every now and then unlocking cosmetics for characters. But I'm not unlocking characters. I'm not, I've unlocked one variant so far. I'm not, there's no like kind of obvious battle pass screen that I'm like looking at as it goes up as I'm leveling or doing anything. It feels very odd where I feel like there is like there's no pull. There is no. I couldn't even see a screen that shows me, okay, what's the competitive system? What is the rank I would be achieving? Like anything like that. I don't even know if the competitive system has a rank in it. Like has like a gold, silver, bronze, whatever. And so the more of it I play, and the thing about competitive multiplayer games for me is I like playing games to get better. These types of games, I like feeling progression, feeling like I'm getting better at the game. And I don't get that sense of progression from Concord. I get it now that I'm focusing on one character and I'm just playing the one character. I'm having a great time. I'm feeling like I'm getting better at that one character. But I feel like I'm just ignoring a fundamental design philosophy of Concord. Like I feel like it's I'm so big and I'm in love with every competitive mode I have in games that it's now like I've had to, because this one is not working or that there's no players in that queue for me to play with, that I'm having to change and ignore the way the game's built because it just feels weird. It just feels very odd. I'm now after today's play session. I'm interested to keep playing some more and jumping in with some friends when they grab it later in the week. But like, it's just a very weird, and even to the stage of like, I'm even sat there thinking, why didn't they connect the story to leveling so that you got, because I've been even though I got the deluxe, like I got the early access with the deluxe edition. Thank you to PlayStation. I've seen the same opening cutscene the entire week. Whenever I've booted up the game, I've seen the same cutscene. The coolest thing was during the beta, I saw like 3 or 4 different cutscenes that was like building up different characters and building up different interactions. I've seen one cutscene so far, and I've seen no other. I feel like in game there is very minimal character interaction or character development. And then the oddest choice.
There isn't the banter that you get in something like an Apex.
Yes. Yeah, there isn't the banter between characters, the relationship building that's there. And like even weirder than that, like so they have this thing in the main menu called the Galactic Guide.
Mm-hmm.
And it was sealed off during the beta, and this is where it collects all the lore. And there's actually a level associated to it. It's called a lore level of your Galactic Guide. But all the Galactic Guide is the equivalent of a codex from like most RPGs. That is just a collection of different text-based pieces on different characters, on different worlds, on different things. Other than this random lore level going up, there is no incentive to go into the Galaxy Guide. Unless you're like me and you have the OCD where you see the little exclamation mark on it and you're like, okay,
I need to get rid of that.
I need to go clear that. Exactly, right? But I don't go in there and read the things because it's massive walls of text. I'm not there to sit and read massive walls of text, even though I bet it's well founded and interesting for the story of this game. That's not how you engage people anymore. That's not how you endear people to your characters. I just feel like
is it just text? There's no audio or anything?
There's no audio. There's no audio whatsoever. If there was audio, I'd probably feel very differently because I'd probably listen to it. And if there's character voice notes and stuff like that. But everything I've looked at in the Galactic Guide is just like pages
wall of text,
of text each time. It's so frustrating and because I can tell this game has character. I already knew this game has character because I saw cutscenes during the beta. I saw those cutscenes. Those are there.
They in the game? Can you access them somewhere?
I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe. Who knows? Like, I can't see them anywhere. There's no cutscene options. Every time, I liked the idea when I was playing the beta of launching the game provided a different cutscene. And I got super hype about that. I got super interested in that, thinking about it. Okay, when this launches, we're going to be continually getting content and continually getting the story progression of this world. That's cool as shit. But it's sure, maybe you could say, oh, well, you need to wait for a couple of weeks for it to come out weekly. It needs, if this game is going to survive, it needs to come out quicker. It needs to.
But from the sound of it, it needed like some. It couldn't have launched with just one.
No, exactly right.
Have a couple.
Have a collection of them where you are like, and this is the thing where even if you can tie it to your account's level, that at every level there is a new cutscene unlocked, but it doesn't play you that cutscene unless you go into a menu, or the next time you boot up the game, it'll play you the next cutscene in order. So you can keep building the story and you keep going that, and there's that nibble of lore progression. And sure, that doesn't matter for some people, but it's still something. And I feel like, and even more, like we'll talk about it later, but in Opening Night Live, they announced Secret Level, the Amazon series, the gaming anthology. Concord is a part of that.
Yep.
Concord, at its current rate, is not going to be alive in December.
Whoa, that's brutal.
Fuck, what game? Like I am. If you've listened to the podcast for a while, or you've heard me talk about games like this for a while, I am the fucking champion of this style of game, of this style of multiplayer game. I've tried them all. I've never seen one where in the opening week you simply can't queue into competitive. Well, you can't queue into that game mode whatsoever. That it just...
And not because it's broken.
Not because it's broken, because there's nobody playing it, either at your rank or in the whatever. There is nobody playing it and it times out. That's fucking insane. That's not good. I think, I think, especially, I also think that maybe Sony had some arrogance, and I love calling Sony arrogant. It is quite fun. But I feel like they keep proving me right. There is some Sony arrogance around PC games, especially at the moment, where they saw how well Helldivers 2 did on PC, and they just presumed that was going to happen to Concord, but without putting in the effort. They just presumed that same thing was going to happen with no effort. And I can tell you, every time I open the team board in a game, there's only been a handful of times where there is more than maybe 2 or 3 PC players in my lobbies. At the minute, I'm playing with largely console players.
Yeah, I suspect that's the case, yeah.
And so that's a problem. Especially these games, the start is supposed to be like the big point. And that's where the problem is when you've got this, I think it's $60 in Australia.
60 Australian, 40 in the US. Yeah.
Yeah. When you have that ticket price on the entry into this game, you're not even going to get people trying it to be like, okay, I like this game. I'm going to purchase the fee of entry. That's where so many other of these games or the free-to-play model works really well, because you get people in the door, get people enjoying your content, and then they buy the battle pass. They buy skins. There is no store in this game. Skins you just unlock, as far as I can see. There's no way you can go, oh, I really like that skin. I want that skin. I'm going to buy it or unlock it or anything like that. And I feel like, and this is weird. This is a very weird situation where I'm like, nah, I now think that the free-to-play model is the way to go. And there is a happy medium in that free-to-play model of like not overdoing it on microtransactions, not over kind of monetizing things. But I still think at least it gets you player bases. It gets you people trying your game. It builds. And what I'm worried about is Concord just being a bit DOA. Especially when the week Concord comes out, Overwatch 2 releases its newest hero, Juno. Marvel's Rivals gets its release date and announces 2 new characters with Captain America and Winter Soldier. Sure, that's December, but people are now thinking about it at the same time. Yeah. As we'll talk about later in the show, Deadlock gets officially announced by Valve, and there is gameplay and people talking about Deadlock, which is the same style and genre of game as Concord. Like it's there is so much going on in this space right now. Yeah. And for Concord to be seemingly floundering at the moment is not a good thing.
Yeah, it seems to be a mixture of underwhelming marketing and just general poor timing. It seems to be coming out at there seemed to be like very little marketing or push.
Extremely little. Yeah.
Like, did they run TV ads for Concord like they did for most of their other first-party games?
No,
I don't think so.
That I've seen. No.
Yeah, the number of trailers for Concord has been small.
Was there
outside of the trailer for the what was it? Their presentation earlier in the year.
Yes. Yep.
I can't think of another.
Nope. I can't.
Trailer.
Why was there nothing like other than Secret Level? Why wasn't there anything about Concord during Opening Night Live?
Yeah, pay Jeff Keighley to run an ad for open.
Like this is the thing, right? You have leading. Like this is the thing. Okay, if we compare this to something that was very close to it was 2016 Overwatch 1, which was exactly the same. Was the hero shooter opening model that had a $60 or whatever price point on it coming in. The way that built its and the way it got me and other schmucks like me to play the game is it released these really cool fucking animations leading up to it regularly. That didn't really have you anything on the gameplay, but it was like watching Pixar movies as clips of the built characters.
You got to attach the characters. Everybody wanted to see Tracer and Widowmaker and
Tracer and Midway and
all those people are household names now.
Yeah, exactly right. And I feel like Concord has been, and I feel real bad for Firewalk because I don't think this is a Firewalk issue. I think this is a Sony issue. I think Firewalk have done a really good job. Maybe there is something that Firewalk should be doing about their competitive and the difference in between their normal rounds and their competitive mode. Like maybe that's something Firewalk should be very worried about. But in terms of pushing this game, I'd love to know whose decision it was for this game not to be free to play and to be a a box value price.
I would say Sony, and I 100% believe they're of the opinion that we'll sell it, and then if it doesn't do well, we'll pivot at some point.
But I feel like it. I feel like it.
And I feel like they've got so much arrogance, potentially,
Yes, thank you.
that they believe that could work out for them. They could turn it around much in the same way a Rainbow Six Siege or a For Honor have able to turn their poor launches around into sustainable communities,
I feel like
I just don't think I don't think it's very likely, unfortunately, with the way the market is. Yeah.
Yeah, and like the landscape of it is. Like fuck. I already knew in the back of my mind, Concord for me personally had a lifespan until December 9th or 10th when Marvel Rivals comes out. And then I was probably gonna say see you later, Concord, and just play the shit out of Marvel Rivals. Because even from the beta of that game, the closed beta I played of that game does it all. That game fucking has great gameplay, even with lag. Real fucking fun gameplay. Has battle passes and character skin upgrades and character moments and interactions and yes, of course, it's built up on Marvel, so we all have a identification and connection with Marvel characters, but it still just plays really fucking well, and it's still really enjoyable. And it's because it's free to play, it's given the chance to show that to people. For people to jump in and play it and be like, oh shit, this is the game for me. And I'm more and more worried the concurrent player base at the moment for Concord is fucking awful. On PC at least. Of course, we don't know the numbers on console.
No. But I'm suspecting it's not that great. I'm looking at Twitch right now. There is currently, well, we're recording like 7:40 Australian time on a Sunday. There's 106 viewers watching Concord streams.
Or even just the case of like, for me to be like, okay, earlier I literally was like, I do the thing I always do with these games, which is I look up like tips videos or like what content creators are making on the game. Nothing.
Yep.
They're not making anything. There is people making the only way people are making content about Concord
is to say
it's dead.
Yeah.
Is to say it's dead. It's not people to communicate it. I was looking for the meta discussions, the here are the settings you should change and use differently on Concord. All the things you see about games that pop up within half an hour, within the couple days of a game launching. None of that exists at the moment, and that's bad.
Yeah. So it's sitting at a 65 on OpenCritic at the moment from 9 reviews, so it's still pretty early. Interestingly, it's currently sitting on mostly positive on Steam, with 75% of the 315 reviews positive. So, people who are playing it are mostly enjoying it, I guess, enough. But there's just not enough.
There's just not enough people playing it. There's just not enough happening. And it feels like this game is that Firewalk and a group of people have put a lot of love, care, and effort into. These are the people that made fucking Destiny's multiplayer modes. Some of the people at Firewalk, like
some of the biggest first-person shooter games out there.
Yeah, exactly right, and it's not doing well.
I know.
And
is there time for it to recover? Is it as simple as let's just do a bunch of free weekends? You can play the game.
The thing is, right,
experience it.
The best way to pivot this game is to make it go free to play. But how long do you have to wait for it to go free to play? Because I could see it going free to play on the week that secret level the secret level comes out.
Yeah,
with it,
which is like the week Marvel Rival comes out.
Which is week Marvel Rival comes out. But B, how the fuck do you say to players who invested in your game and spent the $60, hey, 3 months after you bought this game, it's now free to play?
they'd be like, "Oh, cool! I can actually play the game now because there'll be
That's
players."
but yeah, but it's
Yeah,
like
how do you reward when there is currently no infrastructure within the game for a game battle pass, for a store, for credits, that kind of stuff? Yeah,
and it would have to like it wouldn't even be a case of just slapping a free to play model on it, because then it's like, okay, we've now got to pivot into something different. We've got to pivot and we've got to change
we've
how
got
the
to
game.
monetize this in some way. It's not
It,
a
it
simple.
was it was almost like me playing it like the last couple of days. I was so either being like, you know what? I wish I didn't have access to every character and I was unlocking them. I wish that I was unlocking characters slowly as I played to
I mean,
fulfill
that's
my
probably
crew.
the first step you do if you move it.
Yeah, right. Like, and that's the craziest thing about it is,
But if you did lock the players, that would like completely ruin the competitive round, right?
yeah. But the thing is, you don't. I don't think it's that bad, because all you do is you would have like a small collection to start with, and then it's the same as Overwatch 2 did it for a very long time, where like the new character, you could only play it in the first season if you had unlocked the character, if you bought the season pass. Like, you didn't have the character for competitive. Which is it was controversial and people didn't like it, but it's doable. You know, it's the same as Apex Legends. If you don't have a character, it means you just can't use it.
Yeah.
Tough tits. And I think it's just the game needs progression. It needs more incentives to keep playing. It needs more reasons to keep playing. Like, it's just, yeah. I feel like it's looking at it. It's got the stuff right. It's got the little objectives to do during games, like do this many headshots or play this many games or do this much damage. But the development of you doing that doesn't give you that serotonin hit of, ooh, I'm leveling, ooh, I'm unlocking new stuff. It's yeah, it just feels a bit blech.
Yeah. Okay. So not a promising launch for Concord, is fair to say.
Yeah, it's fair to say. Correct. Yep.
All right, let's go over everything that happened at Gamescom Opening Night Live, Jeff Keighley's big European showcase. Kieran, did you watch much of the actual show?
I watched bits and pieces. I mainly watched all the trailers.
Hmm.
I watched Shocks, her like kind of opening when she first kind of came on stage, and boy, that was awkward. But it's Gamescom, and I will say for it, and I made comments when we were previously talking about Gamescom, is when was the last time that anything good happened or was revealed at Gamescom? I do feel very differently about it this year. I think there was some substance to reveals at Gamescom this year, and it
Yes.
was worth watching.
I don't know if it was worth watching the entire showcase. I think it would. You would be fine to just pick and choose, or go
That's
through
fair.
a site like ours and go through and pick which trailers you want to watch. Just kind of the structure of the show, the Jeff Keighleyism, the stop-start nature of a lot of stuff. It felt its length. I'll say that, but let's just go through it. Opening up the show. Big news: Borderlands 4 world premiere trailer. Uh, we're getting a fourth one, fourth
Woo!
mainline one.
Woo!
And it's kind of hard to tell. Obviously, it's just a bunch of fire with a psycho mask. But you excited for Borderlands 4?
To be honest, yes, I am. I love Borderlands. I think they come out like they generally spaced out enough that just about the time it releases, I'm in for shooting things and there being big glowy numbers floating up out of each shot I make. I'm ready to be looting and shooting and busting my way through it. I will be interested to see how they've kind of evolved Borderlands in terms of its writing, how they keep progressing, because I think there was definitely around its writing, it was like kind of a down point of Borderlands 3. Tiny Tina's Wonderland was such a hit because they had progressed and they found a setting and they found a situation they wanted to be in, or they wanted to write for. I hope they can do the same thing for Borderlands 4. I hope they can not be as politically focused or satirical as it was last time in terms of trying to make a jab and trying to send a statement through its characters. Like, yes,
It felt a little
Borderlands.
one note.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Like Borderlands has always been satirical. It's always been taking the piss out of various different things, but it just went a bit overboard in Borderlands 3.
Yeah. Not a lot you can take from this trailer. Although I guess the only thing is that the same art style as usual, or is that
no? It looks different. It looks different.
Looks a little
I
bit
was
realistic,
wondering
less shell shady.
I was wondering if this is set on like another dimension or a different world or something that is not Pandora or nothing related to Pandora yet. Like that'd be interesting. But yeah, no, it definitely looked like a different art style for the game.
All right. We then got a world premiere trailer of Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which focused on a mission to save Adler from attempted assassination. I think that's what Dylan tried to spell.
Woo, America!
Are you keen for Black Ops 6?
Nope.
Nope.
I don't know. I haven't played a Call of Duty campaign in fucking years.
No. Yeah.
You know what? I swear at some point.
Are you more likely to play it now that it's probably going to be free on Game Pass?
Yes. You know what? Like honestly, I think there's only 2 of them. The Modern War games, like the newest ones, if they were both on Game Pass, I probably would have played the campaigns through by now because I like the setting, I like Price, I like Soap. I like that setting. I probably, you know what? If it's on Game Pass, you know what? I probably will play the campaigns. Yeah.
All right. Then we got a surprise, a big remaster announced. Goat Simulator. Remastered. Cool trailer. Making fun of a lot of other games that get remastered, including a great Skyrim reference that, if you know, you know. But Goat Simulator. It feels like Goat Simulator 3 recently came out, so having to go back to the well again is odd.
Thing is, and I didn't know this until somebody said this in like a reaction or something I was watching. I didn't know that there was no Goat Simulator 2, and then it was just a meme that they jumped to 3. Did not know that. It just made sense when they were like 3. I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wasn't. The thing is, I guess I was never a Goat Simulator player. Like I've played it maybe once or twice, like fucking around when I was a teenager, but it was not a big part of my life. It was not something I took any kind of notice of, and I have still clearly have not taken any much notice of it.
No. Just a weird choice. We got a trailer for Persona 3 Reloads Episode Aegis DLC, which apparently will feature Joker from Persona 5.
Oh.
Crazy.
It's weird that a remaster is getting DLC. It is a little odd. It's a very interesting move, but sure.
Well, I guess it's a remake.
A remake,
yeah. Then we got the first trailer for Dying Light: The Beast, which is a new entry in the Dying Light series, seeing the protagonist Kyle Crane from the original game return. Any interest in Dying Light?
No. Like I want to be. I remember being enamored with the Dying Light 2 when it came out, and then I barely played it. So I think it's a series that I think I like the idea of, and I think has a cool premise, but is not something that I'm too big on. Especially like this is the Beast. It seems to be very heavily set in, of course, the lore of Dying Light 1 and being a continuation from Dying Light 1. So yeah, it's probably not for me.
No. All right. We got a launch trailer for Black Myth Wukong. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero got a trailer, which is apparently only 50 days away. There was a weird trailer for King of Meat, an indie game where it's a dungeon creator / runner. So imagine Fall Guys, but with you create the dungeons that you have to run through, which could be fun.
Yeah, I feel like there's a game like this already. But probably. I think like it came out. I feel like it came out like too early for it's kind of for it to be good, and I think maybe this is coming out at a better time for it.
We got a trailer for Linked, Banner of the Spark, which is a new game from Studio Fuzzybot. It's a co-op action hack and slash, but between the fighting, you'll be doing town building as well. Weird logo because it's got like a gear thing right next to the linked, so it looks like the game's called O-Linked. That was my only takeaway from this game.
Yeah, no, I'm on board with that. Yep, no, there's nothing that massively stood out for me.
No. We got a new trailer for Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, which kind of filled in a little bit more about the backstory in this, I don't know, adventure game. Dylan wrote, here's a new trailer. It teases mystery when a package from the past shows up. It looks like the main characters have to think back to 1995 and something that happened then. It definitely the ending gave, I know what you did last summer, but I know what you did in 1995.
I was one.
Yeah. That's great. That's crazy.
Man, these people don't need to keep selling me on their game. I'm already in. I was in from the first moment it came out.
Looks cool. They're in a band. Now they're all old. I thought it was pretty.
I hope to God it has a slapping soundtrack. Then introduces me to more music and continues to grow my music library, as every one of these games generally does for me.
There was a trailer for No More Room in Hell 2. I have no idea what those games are. We got a trailer for Arc Raiders, which is
one of those. Yeah, it's a fucking gacha game. It's like Genshin.
Yeah, but sci-fi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but sci-fi.
Yeah. Infinity Nikki got another trailer. Everybody excited for this game, or very confused. One or the other. It's the only two things you could be.
It looks fun as long as it's. Thing is, once again, this is like a Game Pass game for me. If it was on Game Pass, fuck yeah, I'll play it. Am I going to go on a way to buy it? Probably not.
No. There was a new trailer for Warhammer Space Marine 2. Or, well, teaser, I guess. There was... What is it? Trailer for the upcoming third-person MOBA Predecessor. That shows off the gameplay and teases the story. Path of Exile 2 got a trailer announcing it's releasing early access later this year. Dune Awakening got a big trailer. Of course, this is the upcoming MOBA set in the world of Dune. You get to create your own character, work with Karkanins, and dodge sandworms. Exciting. We got a trailer for Reanimal, which is the new game from the studio behind the first two Little Nightmare games. It just looks like more nightmarish stuff.
Which is kind of awkward when it comes to something that's shown later on in this showcase. It's like, oh, okay, these are both here. All right.
Yeah. Another trailer for Genshin Impact. We got a new trailer for Monster Hunter Wilds, which, it looks like a Monster Hunter game. It's a big bads. Lara Croft is coming to Nakara Blade Point. Another game I know nothing about. Fatal Fury City of Wolves got a trailer. That's a game coming out next year. We got a trailer for Mecha Break, which is a mech battler game.
Yeah,
yep, that's a thing.
Yep, that's a thing.
Monument Valley 3 got announced. Of course, the beloved mobile game Monument Valley's third entry. This one being published exclusively on Netflix for mobile devices. Or I guess things. We got a trailer for Civ 7 with the release date of February 11th, 2025.
Have you seen the pricing for Civ 7?
No.
Let me find it. I'll find it because I saw it's fucking ridiculous. That one there. Okay. So, the base edition, like the standard edition of Sid Meier's Civ 7 on PC, $120.
Wow, that's big. Is that Australian or US?
That's Australian.
Okay.
Pre-purchase of the deluxe edition for Civ 7, $160. The Founders Edition of Civ 7, $200.
Jesus, what's in these extra editions?
I don't know. It does. This is the thing, right? I can't actually see
Steam.
pre-purchases and if you pre-order the packages, receive the Tecumenson Shawnee pack. The Tecumenson is also included. So at the minute, if you pre-order, it doesn't actually. There it is. Founders Edition includes full base game, advanced access, play the game up to 5 days early on February 6th.
Oh, well, that's worth all the extra money.
The Tecumency and Shawnee packs, Crossroads of the World collection with post-launch content featuring 2 new leaders, 4 new civilizations, 4 new wonders, and a special cosmetic bonus and more. Right to Rule collection with post-launch content featuring 2 new leaders, 4 new civilizations, 4 new wonders, and a special cosmetic bonus and more. Deluxe content pack, which includes 2 leader personas, 4 profile customizations, 1 alternate scout skin. Founders content pack, which also includes 2 leader personas, 4 profile customizations, 1 Fog of War tile set, and 1 Founders Palace skin. That's $200. Pretty much for the deluxe edition, you get the first bunch of stuff up until you get a deluxe content pack with 2 personas, 4 profile customizations, and 1 alternate scout skin. Yeah, fucking insane, the pricing for Civ. What the fuck?
I'll say, I reckon Civ is one of the only games who get away with something like this.
Yes, 100% I agree.
Because the people who play Civ only play Civ, and they're only invested in playing Civ.
Yeah.
So, if they have to fork out a little bit extra every 10 years when a new one comes out, I'm pretty sure they're pretty happy to do that, unfortunately.
Fuck me. Yep.
But yeah, that's pretty extreme. Starfield got a new trailer for Shattered Space. The Rev 8 is now in Starfield, a buggy that will help you race around planets. Helpful.
Woo!
As mentioned before, we got a trailer for Marvel Rivals, which announced that Captain America and the Winter Soldier will be coming to the game. The game will officially launch on December 6th. How much time have you put into Marvel Rivals?
Do I have the close? Do I have? Let me just look quickly. Where's my Steam library? Marvel Rivals. I put into the playtest 20 hours.
Oh, it's still not ongoing.
No,
it stopped.
Okay. It stopped. Yes, I put 20 hours
until it's again.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Until there's another beta or something. Yeah.
And then also, as we mentioned earlier, there was a world premiere trailer for Secret Level. So Tim Miller took to the stage to reveal Blur Studios' new anthology series coming to Prime Video. There's lots to see in the trailer, but we'll get episodes of this series of tele-stories in the video game worlds of Armored Core, Mega Man, Pac-Man, God of War, Sifu, Warhammer 40k, and more. Secret Levels is coming to Prime Video on December 10th. What are your well, I've got the full list here elsewhere. So we got 15 distinct episodes. Of course, it's directed by Tim Miller, creator of the anthology series Love, Death, and Robots over on Netflix, which is very beloved, with features incredible animation. So the 15 games are Armored Core, Concord, Crossfire, Dungeons and Dragons, Exodus, Honor of Kings, Mega Man, No World Ethereum, Pac-Man, PlayStation Studios in general, but God of War was highlighted. Sifu, Spelunky, The Outer Worlds, Unreal Tournament, and Warhammer 40k. Are you intrigued by
Shit's gonna be wild. I'm so excited for this. I think this is the best reveal of this, which is bad considering it's not actually a game. Yeah. But this was like my most hype reveal out of anything that was shown at Opening Night. I can't wait to watch it. I think it's gonna be great. I hope it does really well with all the different IPs that it's got. I hope it pulls it off. I hope Concord is still surviving when this comes out.
Maybe it'll be the episode will be so good.
It does feel like PlayStation was like, hey, yeah, you can have God of War, but could you take its awkward little brother Concord with it, please, and show that off at the same time for us? Thank you. Which I do think is, and I didn't say this in the review earlier, I think it's dropping the ball. They should have launched Concord at the same time this comes out. Because I feel like that would be a better way to do it, to have people into the game. Is to drop
Well,
it
I mean,
with the
right
sub-
now it would
yeah.
make more sense because then they could have spent more time marketing.
Yes, also very true. Yes.
But also, then it would be even worse because it would be going straight up against Marvel Rivals day one. So
Yeah,
it's tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, this very interesting project. I'm keen to see how they tackle some of the properties here, especially Pac-Man and Spelunky. Maybe more cartoony stuff because obviously they've got a very realistic style to their animation. So that's intriguing, and it's nice to imagine what this could be, what a second season could do, or which of these they could spin off into standalone series or whatever. So very interesting project. Looked like Tim Miller was very emotional about it. So very keen to check that out later this year. We got a trailer for Age of Mythology Retold. It's coming later.
I felt very bad for this game because having this directly after that felt like a fucking heavy decrease in the level of quality that was being shown at the time.
Yep. So then we got a trailer for Towerborn. We got a trailer for Delta Force. Kingdom Come Deliverance got a new trailer. Apparently there was a gameplay trailer released during Gamescom as well. There's a trailer for Zenless Zone Zero, another Hoyoverse game, followed by another one in Honkai Star Rail. We got the first trailer for Batman Arkham Shadow. Of course, this is the latest entry in the Arkham franchise, but it is coming exclusively to the MetaQuest 3. I don't think it looked terrible. It definitely gave me Arkham Asylum vibes. But do we want to be playing Arkham Asylum feeling games in 2024?
Yes. Like in all honesty, I was pissed off. This actually trailer pissed me off because it pissed me off that we got Suicide Squad again. Because even just having this and having the setting and having the variety of characters and just all the little things, I was like, fuck, this universe is so good. And like the reason that the Arkham universe is so good is because of the work Rocksteady did building it. And you went and fucked it by making them do a live service game for Suicide Squad. It is fucking infuriating. But no, I was like all for this. It's not going to make me buy VR yet. Like, it's not going to make me buy Meta. But at the same time, I sit there and watch it and I go, fuck.
Man, it would be cool if one of my friends nearby had a Meta 3.
Yeah, right?
So I could test it out, yeah.
Yeah, 100%, right? Like, man, it'd be really cool to like be in this universe again, to play as Batman. It just frustrates the shit out of me.
Mm-hmm. We then got a trailer for Little Nightmares 3, which is this time coming from Supermassive Games. Dylan says, it still looks like the game series players know, but after the trailer for Reanimal earlier in the show, it definitely looks tamer. So
it feels weird that both these, as I said during the Reanimal section, like it feels weird that both these are on this show. And this is very much to me, it was almost like a similar situation to like Skin Suit Telltale games, where it's like, you've got the real makers of this game coming out with their own thing, and then somebody trying to, even though it is Supermassive, so more power to Supermassive, they are a great studio. But yeah, Little Nightmares is a big kind of IP to fill in a lot of ways.
Yeah. We got a trailer for a new game called Herdling, which is you herding animals. We got then Peter Molyneux, beloved game creator, came out.
Oh my god.
He came out, said, "Oh my god, I can't believe I spent all these years working on mobile games. Wasn't that a dumb idea?" And he's like, "I've got a new godlike simulation game coming out called Masters of Albion, which you'll be protecting a town, making you meet rats, and protecting them from monsters at night."
I've read an interview from Peter Molyneux after this showing, of him kind of being like, Microsoft can't sue me for calling it Masters of Albion, right? Like, Albion is just an old name for England and Wales and stuff.
It can't be copyrighted.
It can't be copyrighted. But then in like the same interview, kind of heavily hinting and suggesting that this is the same Albion as that's in Fable. So it's like, whoa. So it isn't just a coincidence that this is called
Master
Albion. Like, it's actually the same. Like, this does not end well for Peter Molyneux. There's no fucking way it ends well for him. Not like anything generally does, because he's a fucking snake oil salesman.
No, he'll come out and just change it to Masters of Falbion.
No, wait, that sounds like Masters of Thelden. I'll be suing him. Fuck.
No, that's not even close.
Yeah, I know.
All right. They showed a world premiere trailer for Squid Game Unleashed, a new mobile game, multiplayer mobile game where you just play them Squid Game games. We got a new trailer for Unknown 9 Awakening, which is weirdly a live action with the actress from The Witcher.
Which look great.
Looks pretty good.
Look more good stuff.
New trailer for Diablo 4, Vessel of Hatred, and it was revealed that you can now hire mercenary companions to help you on your adventure, which will be helpful for people who've got no friends to play Diablo 4 with. New trailer for the Berserker Kazan, which looked pretty cool. Interesting art style. Big Soulsy looking thing. There was a trailer for Flowtopia, which is coming to Nintendo Switch, and then one of the last games, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, got a trailer, which was really just Troy Baker talking about how cool it is that he's playing Indiana Jones. Then we got the release date. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is coming to Xbox and PC on December 9th.
Just that one release date, right? Nice. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, pretty late in the year. Like,
nice,
probably just going to sneak in for those award things.
I think it'll miss the awards.
Because
because normally video game awards, or like the game awards, is generally like the 15th of December-ish. Yeah. And normally, so I think Indiana Jones falls into next year's categories. I think Indiana Jones misses this year.
Well, maybe that works out well, because it was also announced that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle will be coming to PlayStation in spring 2025, which will be 4 for us.
Huh?
What did your heart feel when you saw PlayStation spring 2025?
The thing is, I'm not in this instance, I'm not like the heartbroken Xbox fan or anything like that. I am just like, you know what? If this had happened on its own, right? If this just happened out of the blue, totally fine. Would have been like, yeah, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But just it happening alongside other things that Microsoft's done within the last like 4 months, I'm like, makes fucking sense. Makes complete fucking sense. It is the best way to make this game make more money than it will do. Put it on PlayStation and just sell it there. Put it as timed exclusive. Put it out on PlayStation. Sure, you're not going to get console sales out of it now. You're not going to. And this is the thing. This is where Microsoft is and Xbox is just going to end up as a software seller that also has hardware for if you want to use their hardware, you can, much like a fucking PC. But its money is made out of software and subscriptions and shit like that.
Mm.
It's that is where Microsoft's going, and I'm at peace with that. It's not something that I am that big against, or like, oh no, it's the end of the fucking world. I just wish they would kind of just come out and do it wholesalely, instead of kind of having this air of, oh, we've still got lots of stuff coming out just for Xbox, and it's Xbox stuff, and there's exclusives, and it's like, nah, bruv. And like, I'll expect to see Hellblade 2 on PlayStation. I think it's just now a matter of time before Hellblade 2 is on PlayStation. The same thing with Starfield. I think it's a matter of time before Starfield is on PlayStation. Yeah. And I don't begrudge Xbox and Microsoft for doing that. I just begrudge the way that they run things and handle things to make people feel like, oh, you're going to feel super special, and you're going to feel like your console choice matters. And I think in one way it's really good because I feel like it's going to just stop feeding into the console war bullshit and just be like, we're going to make money no matter where our game is. So let's just enjoy that and make cool games and put them out there and people can play them where they want. Which is Microsoft's whole shtick with PC, is that you buy a PC, doesn't matter where you bought your parts from, doesn't matter if you built it yourself, it doesn't matter which manufacturer built it, you are going to run Windows.
Yep.
If you want a PC. You can use Mac and OS, sure, but Windows is generally the stock standard and the preferred.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if Microsoft is going to end up just approaching gaming and the game sector and the community like that as software sellers that also have some hardware themselves, that they're not putting all their eggs in one basket, I can see them just doing that from now on.
I mean, the interesting thing around this is obviously that Phil Spencer came out when the first 4 multi-platform titles were announced and said, Indiana Jones is going to be exclusive to Xbox. It's not coming anywhere else. And now we're, 4 months later? And this has come out. So, of course, he was asked about it during the Microsoft Gamescom 2024 live stream, and responded to a question specifically about the decision to bring Indiana Jones and the Great Circle to PS5 and what it means for other upcoming games. I'm reading from IGN. Responding, Spencer pointed to the apparent success for release of the 4 Xbox games on non-Xbox platforms and the boost they enjoyed by going multi-platform. Our franchises are getting stronger. Our Xbox console players are as high this year as they've ever been. So I look at it and I say, okay, our player numbers are going for the console platform. Our franchises are as strong as they've ever been. Crucially, Spencer added that Xbox multi-platform push is in part about bringing in more money to Microsoft's gaming business, with the pressure now on to deliver following Microsoft's eye-watering $69 billion acquisition of Call of Duty maker Activision Blizzard last year. We run a business, Phil Spencer said, is definitely true inside of Microsoft. The bar is high for us in terms of the delivery we have to give back to the company, because we get a level of support from the company that's amazing, and what we're going to and what we're able to go do. So I look at this, how can we make our games as strong as possible? Our platform continues to grow on console, on PC, on cloud. Is just going to be a strategy that works for us. It sounds to me like the money train has kind of been cut. Like, somebody higher up than Phil Spencer's gone, you haven't got full reign, you can't do whatever you want. You need to start seeing some money coming into the company. And they're like, okay, well, the easiest way is just to release some games on PS5. Actually make some money and not rely exclusively on, straight on Game Pass subscriptions. Yeah, I mean, interesting that he says that those 4 games were released on multi-platform were so successful, yet not successful enough to save Tango Gameworks from getting shut down until they were sold to somebody else. But yeah, I mean, for gamers in general, I guess this is good. I guess it's just, not great for Xbox fans who feel like they need the exclusivity. But again, like I've said multiple times, people are willing to pay a bunch of money to go play a game 5 days early. I'm sure they'll be happy to buy Indiana Jones on PC or play it on Xbox instead. So, if they're excited. There are very few people who I think will wait.
Yeah, 100%.
So, did you like anything in the actual trailer? I mean, there wasn't much to go off.
I'm interested to see. I'm excited to see where the balance in the game comes from in terms of action versus puzzle discovery and the social elements of this game. I hope it leans kind of heavier towards the puzzling and that side of things rather than action. Probably going to lean the other way, but I'm interested to see more of it.
Yeah, I'm keen for like a proper, 20-minute gameplay video or something like that. Yeah. I know some places have done some previews. I'll be keen to check a couple of those out. But yeah, keen to find out more about this one. Last reveal: Mafia: The Old Country got a world premiere trailer. The new game from Hangar 13, which will see us going back to Sicily and exploring the origins of the Mafia. Interesting.
I'm excited because it's very funny. Because I thought this was funny because I briefly dipped into playing the remake of Mafia 1.
On Game
It
Pass.
came on Game Pass. Yeah. So I played that. And then for this to come out, I was like, oh, okay, good timing. Yeah, I'm always down for a new Mafia game. I'm excited to play. Yeah, to see how it changes and what kind of historical stuff we get out of this.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because a lot of Mafia stories are predominantly told from. It started in America. That's where the Mafia started, but obviously it's got its roots from the Italian people. So,
Yes.
you know, I'm intrigued to tell what story they're going to tell. I'm sure there's going to be very cool looking set pieces in Italy. Let's get some cool looking food. Let's get people talking with their hands. Yeah, very intriguing and you know, a hell of a pivot from their last entry in the Mafia franchise, I guess. And like going from somewhere that you would think has very little relation to the Mafia in New Orleans and a black protagonist to
Yeah.
bog standard Italian dude in Italy, you know.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so that's kind of everything announced at Gamescom. Very exciting. Talk about Valve. They finally announced their new game. Massive secret. Deadlock is coming.
It was a very weird secret considering there have been people playing it.
Yeah, as we talked about last week, the number of concurrents is very high, or high enough to be in the top 100 games. There is a Reddit where people can talk about it, but they can't be super specific or post photos. And then Valve blacklisted a journalist who, like, flat out just, you know, talked about the game, but didn't click on the please don't tell tell people about the game agreement. So, you know, really, he was in the clear. But reading from Player Start, Valve has finally announced its first game in years, Deadlock. As of this morning, the Steam listing for the game, which is a 6-on-6 hero shooter MOBA game, has gone live along with a teaser trailer and some screenshots. The listing for the game simply says Deadlock is in early development with lots of temporary art and experimental gameplay. Access is currently limited to a friend invite via our playtesters. Kieran, are you keen to get your hands on Deadlock?
Yeah. More games like this again, you know, as I said, with Marvel Rivals and now Deadlock.
Well, this one seems to be weirdly like something in between those games and a proper MOBA.
Yes, this is also kind of Valve coming in from their TF2 roots, and kind of having it across the board. I think this is going to be maybe a more complex game compared to hero shooters generally, but I'm excited for that. I love the shit out of Dota. Like, there's still parts of me that frequently wish I could go back and play Dota, but the game's changed too much for me, and I don't have the time to invest in it. But yeah, so I'm excited to play a Valve game again, to be honest, and to be in love with it and to enjoy it. I hope I do. I hope I enjoy it. But if anybody is anybody play testing this and you have spare friend codes, I'll take one, please. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you quite a lot. Thanks.
Yeah, I have no interest, so send them all to Kieran.
Yes, please. Thank you.
I mean, he just needs one, but you know.
Just one, or if you want to give me a couple, that'd be sick. I'll take a couple and hand them out to people so I have friends to play with. But yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah. Not much else to say. I guess, you know, it's good that it's announced and people can talk about it, and people seem to be liking it.
It's very funny they're doing it in the most Valve way possible, but it's because it's a Valve game. I think it is exciting because Valve is like the oddly sleeping giant of video games. That's like, if Valve starts doing something, you go, oh shit, okay, what's going on here? What are they doing? What are they up to? Fucking Valve at it again.
I mean, I feel like they can't fail with this, right?
I don't think so.
I think
it'd
there
be
are just
very
so
hard.
many hardcore Valve fans.
I actually think
They'll
this would
just
this would. I'd be very interested to see the Overwatch 2 numbers the day this comes out.
well,
'Cause
the
I think
impact
this
it has on the other Valve titles.
Yes, but I think this kills. I think Overwatch 2 it goes very badly after this comes out.
Did it have a date? I don't think so.
No, it doesn't.
So
It's
still
in the,
ages away.
Yeah, it'll be like a traditional Valve multiplayer game. It's going to be in fucking beta for years. And then when we're like 3 years into the game, it's going to be like, hey, 1.0 is out. And you're like, oh, okay, finally. Because this is how, like, I don't know if you, like, this is how, like, Dota 2 was, where it was just, you had to know somebody with a code to get in. And it lived like that for a very long time.
Last story for this week. Black Myth Wukong continues to attract record-breaking numbers of players. Reading from Eurogamer, Black Myth Wukong continues to attract record-breaking numbers of players, establishing itself as the most viewed game on Chinese live streaming platforms on its first date of release. According to Nico Partners analyst Daniel Ahmed, that's a new record to go alongside its newly minted accolade of being the most popular single-player game by peak concurrent users in Steam history. Ahmed also points out that this success isn't just limited to digital either. Physical editions of the game, including collectors and deluxe editions, sold out within seconds on JD.com, as more than 700,000 gamers signed up for a chance to purchase the limited set of 30,000 copies. The broader implications of the success cannot be overlooked. It signals that Chinese studios are ready to compete directly with established Western and Japanese developers in the premium AAA space. Game Science's transition from mobile game development to creating a world-class AAA game title, backed by heavyweights like Tencent and Hero Games, is a path that many games developers are already trying to follow with growing success. Meanwhile, Bloomberg reports that Black Myth Wukong has already sparked demand for PS5 consoles in China, with the sale of Sony's system twice that of the same period last year. Black Myth Wukong is now Steam's second biggest game of all time, clocking up a staggering peak of 2.3 concurrent players, having pushed both Counter-Strike 2 and Power World down a place. Only PUBG Battlegrounds boasts a higher concurrent peak of 3.2 million, and that's a multiplayer battle royale. Are we surprised by this success of Black Myth Wukong? A lot of people have pointed out that the number of concurrents dropped significantly once the audience in China went to sleep.
Yes. Yeah.
But that doesn't take away.
No, it doesn't. The game was always going to be massive because it is heavily Chinese. Well, it is. It's Chinese.
It is.
mythology.
It's based on the classic Chinese story.
Yes, it is. And so it was always going to be big. I think it's going to be very interesting later this year because I think a lot of people, especially like I've seen content creators and people coming out saying, "Oh, Black Myth Wukong should be Game of the Year." I'm going to spoil it for everybody now. This game won't be Game of the Year because yes, a lot of people are enticed are playing it and are enjoying it and are enticed by whatever. The people that are voting on Black Myth Wukong to be in these Game of the Years all are very well briefed on all of the shady, dodgy shit that has been the developer has done and is doing around this game. In terms of the NDAs people are having to sign to be able to play the game, as in the history of kind of workplace issues, the list of just not being able to talk about COVID during interviews.
I'll say the NDA thing, I feel, as I've seen pointed out somewhere else, is mostly to do with the Chinese government rather than the studio not wanting people to talk about that stuff.
Yes. But I still think there's a lot of issues around Black Myth Wukong that people are not that is going to harm its hopes and kind of the chances of it being Game of the Year this year. Yeah. I think it's a big game. I think you would have noticed if you listened to us, we don't talk about it much because of those issues that we've already spoken about. I don't think any of the three of us have played it or are playing it. I think it looks stunning. I think it looks amazing. I think for a matter of the hardware and the kind of, this was the game that was like selling people an Unreal Engine 5. because this game looks fucking amazing, but I don't think it's revolutionary or big enough that it's going to change the way the game plays or change how any of us feel about it or anything like that.
Yeah. So it's sitting at 81 on OpenCritic, so pretty good, but not like at the top of the list of games. So, but yeah, I mean, what this says to me is there is a massive audience in China that is being underutilized or undersold to, and I wouldn't be surprised if there is a move, much in the same way that you saw Marvel movies and the like try to cater to the Chinese audience, or in some way, whether it's through better localization or things like that. I think we will see more studios prioritize the Chinese audience, because a bulk of that 22 million people is Chinese people, you would assume, based on
100%.
the facts that we've seen. Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap up?
No, I'm pretty good overall on games at the moment. I'm happy that we've had the chance to hang out and talk. And you know what? I don't even remember the third person that's currently on the episodes of this right now.
Yeah, who knows? All right, let us know what you thought about anything we talked about on this episode. What were you excited for from Opening Night Live by going to explosionnetwork.com/Twitter or jump to Discord at explosionnetwork.com/Discord. If you want to help us out here at Arcade Couch, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, anywhere you can leave 5 stars, or just tell people about the show. And if you've liked this episode, thought it was worth $1, head on over to our Ko-fi page at explosionnetwork.com/support. Alright, thank you very much for listening. We'll see you here next week. We'll see you here next week, same time, same couch. Bye.